Amazing day to all. This is Teacher Dan Rogayan, and welcome to another episode of our Let Review Drill. This is for a science majorship, part of our preparation for your upcoming board exam come March 2025. So for this episode, we'll be focusing on another sub area of biology, and that is genetics. So first, let me share my slide. All right. So I hope you're doing great and well as you prepare for your board exam, no? So ilang days na lang ay board exam na and we'll be committing ourselves to committing myself, no, to upload more drills for all of you so that they'll be able to be reacquainted with the salient concepts in our science majorship. So for our review drill number 10, we'll be focusing on genetics. Okay, so let us all remember and be guided with our goal to pass and even top the board licensure examination for professional teachers. And I know kayang-kaya po nating lahat yan. For our sub-area in our biology course, no, we have genetics here, and we will be focusing on two learning outcomes, illustrate the roles of chromosomes and genes in genetic technology, and secondly, identify the benefits derived from the genetic technology in the fields of medicine and agriculture. So this is based on the enhanced table of specification issued by the Professional Regulation Commission. So again, same drill, samahan ninyo ako sa pagsasagot ng ating 10 items for this episode and let me know in the comment section ilan ang inyong makukuha. Alright, I think everybody's ready. So let's start for question number 1. True of mitosis. A produces diploid cells. B produces both diploid and haploid cells. C produces haploid cells. Or letter D, no cells are produced. So which of the following description is true of mitosis? All right, so what's your answer? All right, of course, when we talk about mitosis, no, this is a cell division, no, involving the body cells, and so they will produce diploid cells. All right. So here, as you can see, we have here the mitosis, and you can see that the uh, output is two diploid daughter cells. So basically, these are type of cell division involving our body cells. Remember, humans have 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs. 22 out of 23 pairs are for body cells or for autosomes. While the remaining pair, the one pair is for sex cells or sex chromosomes. So for meiosis, this is a type of cell division which involves, of course, the sex cells, all right? And they will be able, no, they'll be producing four haploid daughter cells with 23 chromosomes each, no? Whereas on mitosis, it has 46 chromosomes each. Okay, so that's mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so you can see here for mitosis, no, we start of course with the interphase, then we have the prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis, and of course our diploid cells. While for the meiosis, we have the interphase, prophase 1, prometaphase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1, which of course comprises our meiosis 1. Then we'll have cytokinesis, prophase 2, metaphase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. Then, of course, the cytokinesis, which will produce the four haploid cells. So this comprises naman the meiosis 2. All right. Number 2, which phase of mitosis involves lining up chromosomes in the midline? A. Telophase, B. Prophase, C. Anaphase, D. Metaphase. Okay? So which, no, of the phase of mitosis involves lining up chromosomes in a midline? Of course, pag midline, pag gitna, that is metaphase, right? So metaphase is where the chromosomes line up in the midline, right? So you can see here the prophase, okay? Then we have the late prophase or the which is metaphase, no? And of course, the metaphase here where your chromosomes are lining up at the center. Then we have the anaphase where there would be separated chromatid. And of course, telophase where chromosome uncoiling and nuclear membrane reforming. So for mitosis, we have the IP mat, no? Or the interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, no? Or the promat, no? Just the PMAT, no? So the board exam might ask you, no, the arrangement. And that is a very basic question also for Gen Ed. Okay. Question number three, which ABO blood type is considered the universal recipient? AAB, BO, CA, DB. Okay. Universal recipient. So what is your answer? Future top notchers. So when we talk about universal recipient, that is type AB. Pag universal donor, we have type O. No? Type AB, universal recipient. Type O, universal donor. And as you can see here for the blood group A, no? So the blood group A as an antigen A, of course, no? The antigen A. Blood group B, antigen B. Blood group AB has antigen A and antigen B, and the blood group O, no and antigen. Okay. Now for the type A, no, blood type A, the antibody in plasma is anti-B. So A has an antibody, B anti-B, B has an anti-A, AB has none, while O has an anti-A and anti-B, no, antibodies. So blood you can get, no, if you are a blood type A, you can get either A or O. Okay. For if you are a blood type B, B or O. Blood type AB, you can get A, you can get B, AB, and O. But if you are blood type O, you will just be getting O only. All right. So for blood, you cannot get B or AB. No, for blood type A, blood type BA or AB. Okay, blood type group AB is none because you are universal recipient, no, and so you can get everyone, no. Okay, and then for blood group O, you cannot get AB or AB. All right, while O is actually universal donor. So you can see universal donor yung O. Okay, again, AB recipient, universal recipient, blood type O, universal donor. Okay, and that's part of our, of course, the hematology, no, or the study of blood. Okay, so there are, of course, blood components. Remember that blood is a mixture. And what type of mixture is our blood? That is it solution, suspension, or colloid? That is a colloid. And you can see here, blood component, we have the plasma or the blood plasma, the liquid portion of the blood, which transports nutrients, hormones, and waste and maintains the blood volume. Okay? While the RBC or the red blood cell carries oxygen from the lungs to tissues and removes carbon dioxide. Now, from the lungs to the tissues and removes carbon dioxide. And the red blood cell is also known as, what is that? What is this? That is erythrocytes. Okay. Then we also have the white blood cells, defense against infection and foreign invaders. So they actually is part of our immune system. And white blood cells are also known as what again? That's correct. It's leukocytes. Okay. While the platelets aids in blood clotting and healing of our wounds. And platelets are otherwise known as the thrombocytes. So basically, these are the blood components, no, in our body system. Okay. So some notes lang to remember. How do you call again the study of blood? I mentioned that I think, no, earlier. So that is hematology. Hematology is the study of blood. How many in terms of liters is the volume of blood of human? In terms of liter, what is the average volume of human blood? That's correct. That's 5 liters. So lumalabas din to sa Gen Ed and even out to in our major ship. A protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen. How do you call that protein in RBC that carries oxygen? That's correct. It's hemoglobin. So basically, it's hemoglobin, right? So for the proteins in the blood that help fight infections, how do you call again the proteins in the blood that help fight infections? That's correct. It's the antibodies. So antibodies are proteins in the blood that help in fight infections. Okay. Then a genetic disorder where blood does not clot properly. How do you call that genetic disorder where blood does not clot properly? Of course, that's hemophilia. So that's hemophilia. So these are some of the most common no, terms no, being asked in our licensure examination, both in Gen Ed and in our majorship. Okay, number 4 question. What form of reproduction is cloning that involved the production of an offspring from a single parent? A. Asexual reproduction. B. Artificial reproduction. C. Bisexual reproduction. Or letter D. Sexual reproduction. So what do you think is the answer? All right. So what's your answer? Future top-notchers? Of course, no? So the production of offspring from a single parent. That's correct, no? It's asexual reproduction. All right. So since there is no meeting of a sperm and egg. So basically, it's just a single parent, no? So that is an asexual reproduction, no? Where asexual reproduction involves, no, the meeting of gametes, no? So the sperm and the egg cell, which will actually produce the zygote or the fertilized egg. All right. So this is just some highlights of our cloning, no? So we have here animal name, no? Dolly the sheep, no? Year 1996, no? Description, first successfully cloned mammal from an adult somatic cell. So basically, Dolly the sheep is the first successfully cloned mammal in 1996 from what? Adult somatic cell. We also have CC or copycat in 2002, the first cloned cat, genetically identical to its donor but with different fur patterns. Snoopy in 2005 is the first cloned dog, an Afghan hound. While Prometea in 2003 was the first cloned horse, Equus caballus, cloned from a half-linger mare. While Tai in 1998 is the first cloned cow in Japan. Then we also have Zong Zong and Huahua in 2017, the first cloned primates or crab-eating macaques using somatic cell nuclear transfer. Okay, so these are some of the animals which were cloned, no, over the years. Okay. Question number 5, true of a species. A, reproductive barriers are a mechanism to facilitate interbreeding among different species. B, among sexually reproductive organisms, members of one species are reproductively isolated from members of other species. C, it is possible for two different species to mate to produce generations of fertile offspring. Or letter D, members of one biological species are not able to interbreed with each other. Okay, so what do you think is true of a species? Okay, so what is your answer? Of course, no. So here, the correct answer is among sexually reproductive organisms, members of one species are reproductively isolated from members of other species. All right. Since remember, when we define species, so this is an organism which has the capacity to interbreed and will be able to produce a viable offspring. So dapat pag parehong species, they will be able to produce a viable offspring or a fertile offspring. So pag hindi sila parehong species, there are circumstances that they will be able to interbreed. However, they will not be able to produce a viable or a fertile offspring. Okay? Example of this is of course the meeting of the in the yeah the reproduction the yeah the reproduction no between a horse and donkey no kapag nagmate no ang horse and donkey no we will have these animal though they are not from the same species were able to produce an offspring but again kumusta ang offspring niya hindi fertile hindi viable meaning itong offspring na 'to hindi na manganganak pa ng ganito ang itsura, 'no? So, unless there would be new horses and donkeys that will be mating. And how do we call the product, 'no, or the hybrid between horse and donkey? That's correct, lumalabas din 'to in Gen Ed and even in our major ship, that is mule, right? So, horse plus donkey is mule. Okay, so this is what we call inter-specific hybridization. So just in case itanong sa majorship natin, no, the mating of horse and donkey which produces mule is what we call interspecific hybridization. Okay? Next number 6, gene therapy corrects detectable gene disorders, but this is not one of its procedure. A, addition of functional cells. B, cells extraction from patient. C, reintroduction of corrected cells into patient. Or letter D, newborn screening. Okay, so which is not one of the procedure of gene therapy which corrects detectable gene disorders? All right. So of course that is correct. Letter D, newborn screening, right? So newborn screening is not one of the procedures of gene therapy. Okay, so newborn screening is a diagnostic tool used to detect genetic or metabolic disorders in newborns. It is not a therapeutic procedure and is not directly involved in correcting gene disorders. Okay? So here you can see the gene therapy, okay, the different steps of gene therapy. First off, cell with non-functioning gene, no? So there would be addition of functional cells. Then second step, adding the DNA containing a functional version of the lost gene. So there would be cells extraction from the patient and then functioning normally. So there would be reintroduction of corrected cells into the patient. All right, so that's for our gene therapy. And in the Philippines, no, we have Republic Act 9288, otherwise known as the Newborn Screening Act of 2004, which illustrates a procedure to detect a genetic and metabolic disorder in newborns that may lead to mental retardation and even death if left untreated. So we are so honored, we are so grateful na in the Philippines, this is already institutionalized and being mandated that all our newborn babies will undergo newborn screening, no, after 24 hours until 3 days, no, upon birth. Okay, and this is actually a huge work, no, which done, no, which was done, no, by the recent national scientist. No, we have national scientist Dr. Carmencita D. Padilla, no, the Filipino national scientist who saves and protects life through genetic research. So just in case, no, maitanong, Dr. N.S. Padilla is actually recognized, no, in the field of genetics, specifically newborn screening for genetic disorders in the Philippines. Okay. Number 7, a normal mother and a normal father produced children. Okay. Two children, one normal child and the other an albino child. What kind of genes control the albino such that he has an abnormal skin pigmentation? A mixture of dominant and recessive genes or heterozygous genes here. B, both dominant. Okay. So here, homozygous dominant, or both recessive, homozygous recessive, or letter D, dominance of recessive over dominant genes, or AA, capital A. Right? So what is the correct answer here? What kind of genes control the albino such that the child has an abnormal skin pigmentation? Of course, this will be visible, or this will be evident with both recessive or homozygous recessive genes, no, in this particular genotype for that albino characteristic to be observed or to be evident. Okay, so here, no, albinism is caused by a recessive gene, meaning both parents must carry the gene. Okay, for example, an affected carrier mother and an affected carrier father, they must carry the gene for it to be passed on. So the parents themselves do not need to have albinism, and they could have, no, they'll be able to have an unaffected child, an affected carrier child and an affected child, which of course has the recessive genes. So gene that causes albinism, no? So this is, no, an example of a child with albinism. All right. Okay, next topic, item. Which genetic term pertains to the physical appearance of an individual? So this one is very basic. A, genotype, B, phenotype, C, haplotype, D, clone. All right. So what do you think is the answer for this? Of course, physical appearance, that's phenotype. Genetic makeup, genotype. Right? So this is to show, no, the physical appearance, phenotype, and the genetic makeup, the genotype. So remember, genotype includes the alleles inherited from the parents. Remember, allele are variations of genes or other names for genes. So lumalabas din to, no, in the board exam. Variations of genes are actually alleles. Okay? Phenotype, observable physical traits or characteristic of an individual which result from the interaction of their genotype with the environment. While haplotype is a group of genes inherited together from one parent, typically used in genetic linkage studies. No? So this is inherited together from one parent. While the clone is organism or cell that is genetically identical to another, which is of course part of our cloning. Okay? All right, some let notes, no, that might again come out in your major chef exam. So this is just a quick drill. Okay, who coined the term heritable factor? No, sino nagsabi heritable factor? Okay, so that's actually Gregor Mendel. So basically, the gene that we know now is known previously as heritable factor, which was coined by Gregor Mendel. Okay, coined the term genetics. So coined the term genetics. To remember, the genetics, the field of study, no, where we study genes and heredity. That is William Bateson. So William Bateson coined the term genetics. So mahilig din ang PRC sa mga uh, scientists who coin such different terms, no, in the field. So basically, at least alam natin, genetics, William Bateson, who coined the terms gene, genotype, and phenotype. Okay? Gene, genotype, and phenotype, this is naman Wilhelm Johansen. So Wilhelm Johansen coined the term gene, genotype, and phenotype. Okay? Discovered jumping genes or transposons. Who discovered jumping genes or the transposons? That's Barbara McClintock, who also received a Nobel Prize for Medicine or Physiology. Okay? So that's Barbara McClintock. Who discovered the double helix structure of DNA? Again, this is a basic question. Of course, the duo, no, Watson and Crick. Now we have James Watson and Francis Crick. All right, so James Watson and Francis Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA, which was previously studied, no, by Rosalind Franklin. Okay. All right, item number 9, in meiosis, DNA replication occurs. A, in prophase, B, in metaphase, C, during the first meiotic division, D, before prophase. So in meiosis, DNA replication occurs when? What stage, where DNA replication occurs? So that's, what's your answer? Future top natures? All right, that's before prophase. So DNA replication occurs before prophase in meiosis. So DNA replication meiosis occurs before prophase 1 during the S phase or the synthesis phase of the interphase. Okay? This ensures that each chromosome consists of two identical sister chromatids before meiosis begins. Okay? So tatandaan po, that is before the prophase. Okay, so here you can see the different steps, no, in our cell cycle. So we have the interphase, which includes the G1, the S, and the G2 phases. Then we have the mitotic phase or the mitosis and cytokinesis. So we have here the interphase, right? G1, S, then G2. Then we have the mitosis and cytokinesis. And then, of course, the cell cycle rests at G0 phase. Okay? Yeah. So let's just quickly discuss no the different phases of the cell cycle. First is the G1 phase or the first gap cycle. First gap phase. No, the cell grows in size and produces cellular components such as proteins and organelles. So no chromosome replication occurs yet, and the cell prepares for DNA synthesis. So that's our G1. Then for our G2, the S phase or the synthesis phase, DNA replication takes place. So this is where DNA replication takes place. Each chromosome duplicates, resulting in two identical sister chromatids. And these ensure that each daughter cell receives the correct genetic material. So DNA replication happens in what phase? S phase. Okay. Then we have the G2 phase or the second gap phase. The cell undergoes additional growth. It double checks for any errors in the replicated DNA and makes necessary repairs. So pag tinanong in your majorship, the double checking happens in what phase? That's the G2 phase. No? Here in our G2 phase, the cell prepares for mitosis by synthesizing proteins needed for cell division. Then, of course, our M phase or the mitotic phase or the mitosis. The cell undergoes mitosis where the nucleus divides into two identical nuclei. So it includes the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, or the PMAT or your PROMAT, to ensure proper chromosome separation. So this phase ensures that each daughter cell receives an identical set of chromosomes, and that is diploid cells, which has 46 chromosomes each. Okay? Then we have the cytokinesis. The cytoplasm divides, producing two genetically identical daughter cells of the diploid. So in animal cells, ang mabubuo is the cleavage furrow. No? So cleavage furrow forms in animal cells. Whereas for plant cells, is a cell plate naman. So just in case matanong sa majorship, no? During the cytokinesis for animal cells, cleavage furrow. For plant cell, we have the cell plate. Okay? So we have here the cleavage furrow no, for animal cell, then it will produce two identical daughter cells, while the plant cell plate joins to the plasma membrane, no, the middle lamella. So you can see the cell plate there, no, and that happens occurs among our plant cells. Okay, remember that cell wall is only present, no, in our plant cell. In animal cells, we don't have cell walls. Okay. Then, lastly, of course, the G0 phase or the resting or quiescent phase. No? Some cells enter G0 instead of continuing the cycle, and this is a resting phase where the cell is not actively dividing. So cells in G0 can either remain permanently, like that of neurons, or re-enter the cycle when needed, like that of our liver cells. Okay? So that's your G0. All right, item number 10, last number. Which laboratory test is performed before a blood transfusion to assess a patient's ability to form clots and prevent excessive bleeding? A. Blood typing and cross-matching. B. Complete blood count or CBC. C. Clotting test. D. Blood culture. Okay, so what laboratory test is performed before blood transfusion? So the answer here is, what's your answer, science? LPT top notchers, that's correct. It's blood clotting test or clotting test. No? So it was as in the recent board exam, okay, last year. Okay. So blood typing and cross-matching, these tests ensures compatibility between the donor and recipient's blood types to prevent transfusion reaction. So kaya nga, di ba, that when there would be call for blood donation, no, so we need no to ensure that the blood type no is compatible no, between the donor and the recipient. Then for CBC or the complete blood count, these test measures naman the RBCs, white blood cells, hemoglobin, and platelets, which provide general information about blood health. And this is a common no laboratory test being done. So natanong din to in the recent board what common laboratory test no is being done. So that is CBC or complete blood count. The blood clotting test includes tests like prothrombin time or PT, activated partial thromboplastin time or APTT, and international normalized ratio or the INR, which assess the blood's ability to clot and prevent excessive bleeding. All right. So just in case no matanong sa board exam, how do you call again your anti-hemorrhage vitamin? Your anti-hemorrhage vitamin is your vitamin K, no, or the phylloquinone. Okay, so that is vitamin K. Then, of course, for blood culture, these tests is used to detect infections in the bloodstream, such as bacterial or fungal infections naman. Okay? Right? So for some of the laboratory tests, just in case, no, in our genetics, no, matanong yung other um tawag dito, advancement in medicine then and some laboratory tests. So these are some. So we have the CBC, we mentioned this, measures red and white blood cells, hemoglobin and platelets to assess our overall health. We also have the blood chemistry panel, which checks our glucose, electrolytes, and organ function, indicators like sodium and potassium. We also have the LFT or the liver function test, which evaluates liver enzymes and bilirubin levels to assess liver function or the bilirubin levels. Okay. Then kidney function test measures creatinine and blood urea nitrogen or the BUN to evaluate the kidney health. While the lipid profile assess cholesterols like levels including the HDL, LDL, and triglycerides naman for the lipids. Then for the blood clotting test, which includes a PT, APTT, and INR to check blood clotting ability and bleeding disorder. All right. We also have urinalysis. This is also very common, and which analyzes urine for infections, kidney disease, and metabolic disorders. And the blood typing that we mentioned earlier determines the blood group AB, or O, and Rh factor for transfusions. While we also have the thyroid function test, which measures T3, T4, and TSH levels to evaluate thyroid function. And lastly, electrolyte panel, which checks the level of our sodium, potassium, and chloride to assess hydration and electrolyte balance. So these are some of the common laboratory tests, no, that might be asked in our board exam. CBC, natanong na yan, urinalysis, yung mga yan, dialysis, no? So, natanong na yan before. Okay? So, I think that's it for this particular episode. So, patuloy na maghanda, patuloy mag-review, patuloy na magbasa, patuloy na mag-drill, no? Ng mga let sensitive and mga TOS parallel items for our majorship and even in the other areas like Gen Ed and Prof Ed. So laban, papasa tayo, keep fighting. Maraming salamat, no? Shout out sa lahat po na nagko-comment sa ating YouTube channel. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much and rest assured na sisipagin pa rin tayo, no? Kahit maraming trabaho sa office na mag-upload, no? To help our future LPTs ace and even top the board licensure exam for professional teachers. So you can check the Science Majorship Left Review playlist in our YouTube channel. You can go back some. I have hour-long review discussions also apart from the one that we're doing the Let Review drill. All right. So maraming salamat po and till our next video.